It's something very powerful that happens when you don't quit. I'm sure you've heard that story, that the moment you quit, you're out, you've already lost. So back in 2020 at Kentex Cargo, we really had a lot of scale problems. Remember when COVID started, everybody wanted to buy a lot of things to just keep in the house because nobody really knew how long things going to remain that way. And of course, we had been scared enough, we had been made to believe that this is probably going to be the new way of life. A lot of people were fighting for tissue papers. Remember the tissue paper battles? So in 2020, things happened opposite of what we expected when COVID hit. So when COVID hit, the biggest concern that we all had was about our employees. We were like, oh my gosh, so what are we going to do? Airlines, 70-80% of them, they shut down. There was no so much capacity to ship anything. So the question was, are we going to remain in business? Then everybody was at home and everybody was trying to buy whatever they could buy without having to go outside. So guess what? Everybody went online. They started shopping and checking out straight to our warehouse. And before we knew it, we had so much that we could not handle the capacity. In that, we also didn't have a very efficient system for screening dangerous goods. So we ended up getting problems with FAA, Federal Aviation Authority in the US, and TSA, because some of the shipments that we had tendered for shipping had lithium battery. I'm sure if you've been following me long enough, or if you're one of our customers at Kentex Cargo, you know that we keep saying you cannot ship a power bank, you cannot ship a battery. Like, it's the thing that we talk about the most. So we got in trouble to a point that some airlines like British Airways blacklisted us. They said the shipment that you tendered had a power bank which cannot be put in a passenger aircraft. And that is the truth. And that is the law. But then at that point, I literally felt like I've had enough. The pressure was so much. The social media was so brutal, so unforgiving. Remember, people are at home. Most office jobs are not happening. People literally put a pause for a year plus. So we couldn't even keep up with the pressure on social media, trying to get things moving. On the other side, the TSA have put a hold on all our shipments until we figure out what is going on with lithium batteries. But guess what? In the middle of that crisis, I talked to my employees and I told them, one thing is for sure, the only way to stop me is actually to kill me. That is the only way. We're going to be in business. We are going to continue communicating to our customers, and we are not going to quit. I could literally see them breathing that breath of, because everybody was feeling the pressure. It's like things were bad. But as there is something powerful that happens when you don't quit. Number one is that even your team, they rally behind you. They don't want you to quit, so they really support you. And guess what? Within 3 months, we figured out our problems. We figured out the issues with lithium batteries. We figured out issues with a small warehouse. Let me tell you, we filled our warehouse within a week when people really sat down and started shopping, because everybody was at home and people were trying to buy as much as they could. We figured out our capacity problems. We went from a 1,200 square feet warehouse all the way to a 10,000 square feet warehouse. I was worried that I'm not going to afford paying for that warehouse. But one thing was also certain, that we can't quit. We are in it. We are in this for a long haul, and there is nothing that is going to make us quit. In your business, in your career, in whatever it is that you do, it takes some time before you see real results. If you're starting something that you want to pay your mortgage payments next month with, it might be very disappointing because it might not pay your mortgage. But if you start something that you are willing to stick to it, keep doing it for the next 10 years, big things happen. In fact, there is a framework used by a lot of coaches called the 100-day framework. You do one thing for 1991, and so you do one thing for 90 minutes for 90 days, non-stop, without changing a thing. That one thing, you know, the biggest thing is crazy, wild, big things happen before the end of those 90 days. Has happened to me so many times, including the times I would say I'm going to do 100 push-ups for 100 days the first thing in the morning. Then you find that by the time you get to day 30, day 40, doing 100 push-ups becomes your warm-up. So you get so much better in other things. There was a time I remember I wanted to compete against two guys, very specific guys in golf. I decided that I'm going to go to the golfing range for 100 days, every day without fail. I went for 42 days before the next tournament, and guess what? I was able to not just beat them, but win the whole tournament. Now, the thing is, there is a lot that happen when you don't quit. But when you quit, everything else becomes garbage. You have already lost. Thank you so much. Whatever it is that you're doing, just don't quit. Just stay at it. Is it going to be easy every day? No. There are times you feel like, man, this is hard enough. They say that work starts after motivation is over. At the beginning of the year, you'll see people buying all the gym outfits. They join the gyms, they pay for membership, they're going to be fit, they're going to lose the weight. Now that is motivation. February, March, 90% of those people are not going to the gym. Work begins after motivation is over, after motivation is dead. Don't quit, stay at it. There is no way you can fail. Thank you for listening.